Welcome back for match one. This is Old Man Poole. Got not a real exciting hand, but I do think it is keepable. Do need to find green fairly quickly, but we can play River Darter and Pirate's Cutlass, potentially a Deadeye Rig Hauler. I think that makes the hand good enough. I wonder if I'd F6 really quickly there if my opponent would have skipped his turn. It felt like that was fast. Okay, Hadana's Climb is now on for us, and this is, again, a pretty disgusting card. I think it has the potential to swing the matchup in our favor pretty quickly if it resolves here. Black-green. That's not a color combination you see all that often. I think it's probably the de facto worst color in Rivals of Ixalan, or worst combination, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you can't put together a good deck with it. It's just got to be kind of a value deck. You're not getting a whole lot of synergies, and there's not a whole lot of like strategies innate to it. In Ixalan proper, you had the Explorer mechanic that was pretty sweet, but there are so few Explorer cards in Rivals of Ixalan that just doesn't happen all that often. We're going to play Silvergill Adept here and reveal the River Darter. It's pretty sweet. It means the card will replace itself. We can play Hadana's Climb next turn. And actually the fact that the Silvergill Adept is just a 2-drop might be the most relevant thing about it right now, because that means we can play the Climb and start getting value from it really, really fast. So I played with this card, I think, more than any other rare, actually. I think this is the 4th draft league I've had access to it. Maybe the 3rd, something like that. But I'm still not completely sure when you want to try and flip it. Did not attack there, which is a little bit interesting. Airfleet Hoarder. So we could play the Climb, that just gives us immediate value. We can't swing with it necessarily this turn, but it's probably still okay. My opponent's got removal and kills the Adept. It's a little bit awkward, but not even all that bad, because next turn we can play like River Darter or Tishana's Wayfinder and still get a counter. I think we are just going to play the Climb. We're not going to swing in here, but we will enjoy our buffed Merfolk. Always yield to this, and we're going to pass. That is a good card. Black should have considerable ways, like a good number of ways to get rid of our creatures, though. Like, it's not likely that we can really go like counter, 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 kill you, which I think Hadana's Climb is capable of doing in some matchups. Ooh, Pirate's Cutlass. Okay. That's pretty good. I wonder if we block here. Probably do. I'm not sure we're really happy to play 6, especially when we do have the long game on our side. Interesting you didn't choose to swing with the Stalker still. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and block here. Opponent gets a treasure out of it, which is maybe not irrelevant at this point in the game. He went first, right? I wonder if he needs lands. Might. I guess we could not take it, or I guess we could just take it and then let Hadana's Climb resolve, swing next turn, and then Rig Hauler. Maybe that's best. And then he's got to re-equip. Yeah, actually that feels like a better play to me. I don't hate blocking there, but the Rig Hauler is going to be a pretty good tempo swing too. Alrighty. Let's go to combat. Buff up our Adept one more time, and swing with a 4-3. Pretty solid. Yeah, I can't say enough nice things about Hadana's Climb, truly, though. And we'll play a Deadeye Rig Hauler here, and then next turn we can play one of our 3-drops and Sworn Guardian, which is pretty nice. Or we could play Pirate's Cutlass and Equip, even. Let's just bounce this Hoarder. Yes, we would like to use the ability. And then odds are, since he does seem to be tight on mana, he'll just have to play the Cutlass, or he'll just have to play the Direfleet Hoarder again, and maybe won't even be able to equip the Cutlass, in which case he's dealing with 2 pretty aggressive 4-3 creatures. I think we are going to not necessarily flip the Climb immediately. I don't know, though. Maybe that's just correct. It does put a lot of pressure on your opponent right off the bat. Okay, Direfleet Hoarder. Not fantastic, but maybe not terrible either. So I guess the question here becomes, do we flip the climb? If we flip the climb, we could get in for 10 damage off the Adept. It gives my opponent probably the least amount of time to interact. Almost certainly can't utilize the Swamp here. Costs us 4 to do so, but it will flip. That counts as one of the lands. So you could play like the Sworn Guardian, swing for a lot. Or we can just put a counter here, swing with both of these. If he wants to trade, he's got a double block. And then we can play like Shaman's Wayfinder and the Sworn Guardian. But if we swing for 10 right now, and then play like Sworn Guardian, the next turn, this is still 4, but we'll have 7 mana available, so we could play like... No, we couldn't do Cutlass and Equip and Bump. On the other hand, that's even assuming he can kill the Silvergill Adept. If he can't, he's in a pretty bad spot. I think we do just flip it here. I think this gives us the fastest opportunity to steal the game. Let's put on the Silvergill Adept here, and that should flip Hedonist, or yeah, Hedonist Climb. We are just going to go ahead and buff this up. Alright, take 10, my friend. We both know it's not fair, but we're going for it anyway. So we don't have 2 lethal attackers next turn, but we do... Well, he has to take care of either of these cards, or they should be able to kill him with the Winged Temple. Man, yeah, every time I play with this card, it just amazes me. It's just pretty unfair. Definitely like top 3 rares in the set. I think Tetsamok's probably better. Is it Profane Procession? The black-white exile thing? That might be better too, although Winged Temple does kill just so quickly. Yeah, it's a great card. So, black-green is not the most, like, terrifying color combination. Why would you play that? I guess if you just got a lot of good removal, probably, and some, like, value creatures. That means that maybe Dive Down is a particularly good. What seems bad? I don't think it's real likely that the deck's going to be crazy aggressive, so maybe Sworn Guardian's just not its best. Headwater Sentries, probably just okay. I think I'd like just this in a vacuum. Plummet's not really all that exciting. Cancel maybe would be. But yeah, I just don't know enough about my opponent's deck, so I'm going to run back with this for now. I think moving in 1 Dive Down's not bad. I think he's likely to be fairly removal heavy. Yeah, this hand's not really all that great, but I think we can keep it. Opponent did mulligan down to 6 here. Water Trap Weaver will buy us some time when we play it. And this hand is just kind of okay, right? But even though I think we could potentially get a better 6-card hand than this, anytime you go to 6, there's always the chance that you just get something miserably bad, right? And I think this hand is good enough that you should keep it. Alright, Dive Down. A reasonable trick, either to keep our 1 creature alive, since I imagine this is going to try and go Voltron. We're going to try and like 1 with the Wind and Pirate's Kellicid. Oh wow, man. That's pretty tough. So opponent mulligan down to 6, bottomed, and just could not find a second land, it looks like. Well, it might be a pretty short game then. Water Trap Weaver is just going to be a 2/2 for 2, probably. Unless he's got to play, I guess. Then we get a little bit of value out of it. Best Legion Zealot. Not a crazy aggressive play, but a play nonetheless. So I think the plan is here. We're going to go Water Trap Weaver. Then the next turn, play Water Trap Weaver. Or sorry, play 1 with the Wind, keeping Dive Down up. Although now we have Deadeye Rigcaller, and that changes things maybe a little bit as well. Well, I think this turn it's pretty obvious. We just have to play one of our creatures. I think we will 1 with the Wind. It's a little bit mana inefficient is my main qualm. Jungleborn Pioneer is a good card for sure. But we got the double Dive Down. So we could just Water Trap Weaver, swing, like remove the Duskborn Pioneer, get in for 2 points of damage. That gives us a little bit more of a threat on the board. It's slightly more mana efficient. Don't really want to Rigcaller either of these cards, and we can't actually target the Merfolk. It may be correct just to one with the wind and say, hey, you got a 5-turn clock, we have 2 dive downs, you just probably aren't going to be able to kill us faster than we can kill you. Yeah, I think I really just don't hate that. This is, like I said, less mana effective, but it's higher impact. Yeah, one with the wind with double dive down is tough to beat. Build your own Jade Guardian combo. You just have to keep up mana. So he'll crack back for 4 this next turn as well, but then we'll play a Water Trap Weaver on our following turn, and that will be a pretty good speed bump. We can tap down his Jungleborn Pioneer. He has a tough time swinging his 1/1s in without using a combat trick. I imagine everything's coming in here. Yeah. Definitely do not want F6. We'd hate to have this just get sniped by like an Impale or something. Oathsworn Vampire. We will allow it. And a Gilgrove Stalker. I guess we'll allow that too. Alright, my opponent has fled out the board fairly aggressively here. It's possible that we can't just kill him off of that. I think with Water Trap Weaver this turn, I guess we tap down like Gilgrove Stalker probably. Since it's not something we can even block. We take my opponent down to 11. It's very possible that blanks both of his 1/1 attackers. We still have dive down available, which I think we just kind of always have to keep available. Maybe on the last turn if he taps out and we buy another land, we could like Pirate's Cutlass it up. And that would not actually speed up the clock even though. Okay, but we're playing the stay alive game here for sure. And hopefully the Water Trap Weaver can just go the distance. I think if he had an Impale, he probably would have gone for it. Twilight Prophet, oh man. That's a really good card, and we have like no removal in the deck. Okay, well, that is going to be a problem. Interesting. No attacks? Really? I guess he's just going to try and let the Twilight Prophet do his dirty work. That is not impossible. Twilight Prophet's quite good. I think what we do is we attack, we bounce it with the Rig Hauler, and still have dive down up. That'll force him to replay it again next turn, which is not inherently bad, but I think this is a pretty good tempo play this turn. And depending on, I mean, this puts some pressure on my opponent too, because he might look at it and be like, well, if I just have a bounce spell and he plays Twilight Prophet again, he's kind of dead. Although I think if he had removal, he would have tried to, so maybe that's irrelevant. Yes, we definitely want to use that ability. So at this point, if he replays it, we swing. If he misses once, that's good enough. I guess then he can chump block. But if he chump blocks, we're still happy with that. So land would actually be a pretty good draw, because then we can play Pirate's Cutlass. Forerunner of the Heralds, just okay. Don't think we play Pirate's Cutlass here, but we'll swing for 4, play Forerunner, and search up what? We could get Mistcloaked Herald? I guess that's another difficult to interact with threat. We could also get Merfolk Mistbinder. We play the Mistbinder, we can't play the Jungleborn Pioneer, and keep up dive down with the Herald. Could get like Silver. Yeah, I think that Mistcloaked Herald. I don't know though, maybe just getting Merfolk Mistbinder is best, even though it's a little bit slower. Okay, well, let's swing first. I don't think it's real likely my opponent's going to have anything, but if we have to, I don't know, maybe like blocks and he uses Skullduggery, if we have to dive down, it's good to know that beforehand. Don't think you block, but that makes me think Skullduggery for sure. Yeah. So, I mean, that's fine. We're not going to be able to kill it, unfortunately. He gains himself a lot of time, too. But we do have the dive down answer, so that's nice. He doesn't get to kill our flying threat, at least. If only we could pump it somehow, but not quite enough. Okay, let's play our Forerunner of the Heralds. I guess we could just play Jungleborn Pioneer and still keep up Dive Down. That might still be okay. It gives up the advantage of making a huge Forerunner, because if you play Jungleborn Pioneer post Forerunner, that's a real threat for sure. What if he does have removal for it? If he had it, he would have used it, right? I think so. Alright, let's play the Forerunner. I don't know, though. Because this can be chumped forever, and this can't be. It's pretty bad if he finds removal. I'm going to play the Dive Down. So this is definitely the more cautious play to keep that alive. But I think that if our One with the Wind Water Trapper Weaver dies this game, we probably are just dead. And it's possible we can't outrace the Twilight Prophet anyway. Okay. Didn't get any value there immediately. Which means my opponent had not had the Skullduggery last turn. He'd be looking at a chump block here, but he did, so. You got something? Mausoleum Harpy. Okay. It's pretty good too. So finding another land would be pretty great, because then we could equip the Pirate's Cutlass and keep up Dive Down. Oh yeah, that's true. Oh no, wait. I was like, we were thinking about drawing a Mistcloaked Herald, but we actually wouldn't necessarily have to. So if we swing though here, we can kill off the Twilight Prophet at least. If he double blocks, he's only doing 5 damage to us, so the Dive Down will keep it alive. The Harpy gets larger next turn, but only up to a 4/4. And I think we swing and try and see if he wants to double block. With that in mind, we're not going to play Pirate's Cutlass, or I guess at least not immediately. We'll probably play the Herald and Cutlass, since equipping up the Herald's going to be pretty good. Let's swing with our Water Trap Weaver, if we can't entice a double block. Okay, no block for my opponent. It goes down to 3. And we're going to play our Mistcloaked Herald and a Pirate's Cutlass. And then that's going to be tough for him to deal with too. And still have a Dive Down available. We've left up 1 blue mana basically this entire game. It's kind of funny. So it's been fairly obvious that, or I guess maybe not surprising for our opponent, that we've had Dive Down. Having a second one's a little bit less likely, but only so much you can do, too. I'm not sure what he'd be considering about at the end step with only 1 mana available. The only instant speed black spell I can think of is Skullduggery. Is there something else? Well, he was given the opportunity to play something there. Wonder what? Voracious Vampire. Alright. Getting good value off the Twilight Prophet. He maybe was considering Skullduggerying the Mistcloaked Herald. I guess that's probably most likely. So that's probably what he has in hand. Counts. That's unfortunate. I think we still have to Dive Down. I think it's very likely he has Skullduggery. Yeah, I think we still have to Dive Down though. Darn. The fact that he had 2 instant speed spells there means that if we try and equip the Pirate's Cutlass next turn, he probably gets to get us. Yeah, Twilight Prophet's a pretty good card. Voracious Vampire. Playing that second main phase. Feels like you might try and get in just for some damage with like Dusk Legion Zealot or something. I guess we have a 1/4 though. Makes it harder. Aggressive Urge. So Aggressive Urge would mean that we could kill off the Twilight. No, it wouldn't, actually, would it? I guess let's try and force a Skullduggery now. I think it's likely that my opponent responds here, but maybe not. And we will swing with both of these, fully aware that if we trade for the Twilight Prophet, I'm pretty okay with that. And otherwise, he's in the chump block camp, so. Okay, looks like he didn't have anything else. Cool. So we get to kill off the Twilight Prophet. No real merit using an Aggressive Urge there. Do we want to use it on the Mistcloaked Herald? I think I'm okay with that. That takes him down to 2 damage. It's lethal one way or the other, but this also lets us draw a card. I think cycling away the Aggressive Urge isn't bad. Yeah, see, like, we find an island there. That means next turn we can play. And I guess we still just can only play Forerunner. I guess if we draw like a cheap interactive threat, it'll be powerful. He has removal at this point, though. We're not looking super great. We did get the Twilight Prophet out of the way. But if he can kill this, Mausoleum Harpy will start taking over the game. And that is kind of the last of our evasive threats, at least on the board. It will take a long time before we can really chew up all of his ground defenses here. We'll recover. Okay. That's not good enough on its own, unless the card he drew is. So we have an unblockable lethal attacker here. He's got the Twilight Prophet in his hand and one other card. It's basically got to be removal. Alright, cool. That was a pretty tight game. Yeah, Twilight Prophet definitely is the real deal, for sure. I think we played well. I think keeping 1 with the wind, with the dive downs up all the time was powerful. It maybe wasn't completely necessary. I definitely like sideboarding in the second one, though. Our opponent didn't end up having all that much removal, just pounce and 1 Skullduggery. But I still like taking that precaution there. I think if I was my opponent, I might have been a little bit more aggressive with his ground creatures, but it's hard to know too, especially when feel like you're on the defensive. In any case though, happy to pick up match 1. I'll see you guys for match 2.